the
Good
Todd
morning.
Morning Stream.
Hi.
GetPartDaily.com.
That.
Door's open.
Oh yeah.
You want to get the door?
You want to get the?
You want to get the door? Ow! Let's go to the morning mountain cam.
Yeah. Ouch.
It's a beautiful morning. It's brought to you by UtahCreditApproval.com. And look, it's a bunch of small lights. I really think we need a different cam, especially now that it gets dark so long. It's not like
farther east.
It's not inspiring.
It's pretty though.
Like
Look,
the desert
we could do
cam or-
traffic reports.
Or downtown.
Four
cam.
stories coming up. A new way to scam you when you go to a hotel.
Oh, that's nice.
And it's not about the mint on the pillow.
There's the coolest high school kid ever. He stopped and didn't win the race to do something absolutely amazing instead. It's a Riverton kid. We'll tell you about him.
Do you want to buy a human part?
You can buy body parts on the internet now. And the spookiest spots along the Wasatch front. This one's a little creepy because it's I won't explain. It's creepy.
I want to talk road rage this morning on the way down. First of all,
what was this about?
How can you be in a bad mood at 5:30 in the morning? What have you done?
It's more like self-pity at that
Have
hour.
you shoved a toothbrush in your eye? So I'm driving down I-15 heading south towards 106. And I'm just a little slower than some of the fast people, a little over the speed limit. Think I'll go to the right lane. I look in my mirror. Again, I look in my mirror. And I pull over, signaling.
There is wild erratic passing. It's true.
There is.
I-15.
The car behind me is a full, 18-wheeler length behind me.
Okay.
So I'm like, got the radio.
I can vouch for this because he drives like an old guy. So I know that he did all these things. Go on.
It's called safe because I care about my family. So I'm driving. All of a sudden, this guy's high beams go on. He races up to the bumper. He's blowing his horn. He's flashing his lights. And I'm like, and as soon as you see that, most people do what I do.
Which is?
You go like this. You go, lights are on. Tires are okay, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking for
is something terrible happening that you're trying to warn me about?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
My tires are on fire. There's
something I'm missing here.
There's a rabid antelope in the bed of the truck, and the guy pulls up next to me, and I'm just in the dark. I didn't cut him off. I didn't do anything.
He was a full tractor
this guy
trailer
was
truck.
pissed off, and I'm just looking at him. This is what I did.
Yeah, but you turn in front of him, huh?
I gave one of these. Why?
And he was doing the silent gesticulation
of
like that.
I think it was spit hitting his window. It was just anyway. Road rage, 5:30. Really?
You have more energy than we do. I'm only capable of base emotions like self-pity at 5:30. I really don't have any room for rage.
All right. You know what he needs to do? He needs to relax and have some beautiful thing of human nature. He must experience that, much like
we
this
can do
story.
That. No, I'm in love with this boy, and seriously, and I asked permission to use this video from the guy who shot it, and he was like, "Oh, everybody should know about how great these kids are." So it's this is awesome all around. It was the 6A class boys cross country state meet at Sugar House Park last week.
Right.
Now, Blake Lewis goes to Riverton High. He broke his leg 200 meters to the finish line. So I don't know if this is high impact cross country. I don't know.
Full contact?
I guess, but the poor kid broke his leg. Now,
Right.
His teammate was Sean Roush, and he was really near him. This is what happens.
Okay.
You would think that Sean would leap like a gazelle over him.
They're coming into the stadium.
Now, look, if you can see him here, Sean is the one that has just picked up his friend.
And he's
carrying him. And there's the official going, "You can't do that. You can't pick up your friend. You can't pick up your friend."
Look at these people run by him.
Yeah. And he's still talking to her, going, "Well, I'm just going to keep going because I'm, walking across the finish line."
Maybe she's
the kid is still going.
Oh my gosh!
Carrying his friend. People are running by him. There were enough people.
Oh, it's not going fast enough, so he decides to run.
Is that freaking amazing? Me? So he gave up his chance to win.
Yeah.
And look, they're all lifting him forward.
Oh, no. See, watch this. He's not over the line yet.
Oh,
and now he
cool.
is. Oh.
Tell me that's the sweetest thing you have ever seen a high schooler do. So yeah, so Sean gave up his chance to win because he wanted to make sure that his teammate would get across the lane. Now here's the part that's a killer. He was disqualified. He didn't get to place at all because they're disqualified for the infraction because they're not allowed to contact other competitors within a race. So not only to give his chance to win.
Yeah, but he's going to heaven. So
tell me that's not gorgeous.
That's really nice.
So, Sean, you rule. I am so impressed with you, and I hope everybody at Riverton High worships you today, and all the really hot girls ask you out to prom because you deserve it for that.
Wow.
Wasn't that amazing?
Do you know that he had actually ran through the scenario in his head years ago?
Really?
And because you see this every once in a while, where professionals are doing this, and then someone gets hurt on the hurdles or whatever. And he watched that, and he said, you know what? If that ever happens, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be the guy who stops.
It's a huge thing. I mean, because you train for that for so long, you're there, you're almost there, you're like, I could take this. And then you give it all up for your friend.
I want to give you a story of incredible
awesomeness.
You're in Glasgow. You say, I want to go
I love Glasgow. I want to go to Scotland.
I want to go to a Greek island.
Oh, okay.
And write a novel.
Well, who doesn't?
Romantic, right?
What else would you do but go to a Greek island and write
No. So Karen Grieve, she books her flight. She goes down. She waiting to get on the plane. And she shows up, and she's the only one sitting in the concourse.
So she's probably going, did I make a mistake?
I missed the thing take off.
Because that's the first thing you think is, what did I do wrong?
And that's a lot of seats. So they wait, and they call out a couple names, and then they open up boarding, and Karen walks on. She finds her seat. She puts her luggage in the overhead, and the pilot comes out and sits with her.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, my name's Karen. Hi, Karen. I'm the pilot.
We're going to kind of dispense with the formalities because it's just us.
The co-pilot is going through the checkout, the rundown, whatever it's called. And so he just kind of hangs out. Stewardess comes over. The flight attendant. Sorry. Comes over.
Hey, you want some snacks? I got a lot of them.
You can have them all. And then they call her Karen. Everybody gets everybody's name. They get on the speaker and run through the
Karen, any questions?
The safety. It's like they put the mic down. They walk over and they go, okay, so in case of an emergency, if you see that door right there, this one right over here.
There won't be any crowding, so anywhere you want to go.
You come up here with us. It's the fastest way out. Don't tell anybody else. So she gets all the attention, and she flies, and she's the only person on the plane.
I've never heard of that. I didn't think they would even do that.
Not go?
Yeah.
Well, probably because there's a plane. It has to fill.
Oh yeah, but they have to
go someplace else.
Oh
my gosh,
funny.
It was so funny.
Can you imagine sitting there with your drink, kind of looking around like, this is kind of great? And as I recall, didn't they upgrade her to first class?
Doesn't matter. Everything's first class.
I know.
At that
It's
point.
like, please come sit in the good seats.
When they were flying, they came over. The pilot came over and goes, now if you look to your left, you'll see the Greek island. That's whatever. And then a little later on, he goes, Karen, move to the right side of the plane because I'm going to show you the other island.
That's so cool.
So at the end, they all hugged and went their separate ways.
That is a beautiful story.
Isn't that a dream?
Totally, right?
Oh. Planes aren't full.
I would pray for that flight to never end because you would just be sitting there like, I am the little princess I always knew I could be.
When I used to fly around doing stand-up and everything, never really had big jets. I always kind of going on some smaller ones and stuff. And you would get on, and this is in the day that they would fly without being full, you know. And I remember everyone would board, and then everybody starts doing that. Hey.
Is there going to be a room?
And you're sitting next to someone, and there's no reason whatsoever, and you ask the attendant, a flight attendant, can we move? She goes, no, not until after takeoff. And as soon as it clears and the bell rings, everyone just and goes to sleep.
Oh, it's
and
true.
they lay down. Laying down on the plane.
I know. That was so nice.
So cool.
Yeah.
There is a new scam.
Now, unfortunately, now we go from joyful and happy to, really?
This is perfect scam, too.
It is pretty smart.
First of all, there's no danger for the criminal. There's no contact with the scammy. And this is how it works. Now, tell me if... I think 8 out of 10 people would go along with a scam. Here's the deal.
I think I would, to be honest.
You go to a hotel. There's a phone call.
You check into your room.
Well, yeah. Or you could have checked in the day before.
Okay, sure.
The phone rings. You pick it up. You say, hello. They say, oh, hi, this is the front desk. We're having trouble with your card. And for some reason it didn't go through. Perhaps we have the wrong number. Would you please give me the credit card number again and the 3 codes on the back?
Just so we can,
Right.
double check it.
All right. Would you be suspicious with that?
If I had 2 seconds to think about it, I would remember that they run it the minute you come in, and so they would
But they
know.
said they got it wrong.
Yeah, but they don't even check you in until they've run it. So
Right.
I would, if I had a second
You're
to
gonna
think,
think
I
all
would.
that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I had a second to think, but no, I'd probably go, oh yeah, sure, and I'd go get it out of my purse, and I would hopefully remember as I dug it out of my purse. Well, no, you.
Right.
But it still wouldn't occur to you anyone would call your room
Right.
unless they're in the hotel and they.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're in Nova Scotia, and the person's in New York, and you just call the hotel randomly and go, give me room
11-9.
11-9 and
I don't know.
119.
You're the one that can't remember flight attendants, so let's not be too harsh here, Kyle.
That's true.
Go on.
And then you just say, and they connect you. I'd like room, whatever, and they connect you. So you're in Nova Scotia. You're in no danger of getting caught. I think it's brilliant.
Wow, that is so interesting.
Once again, no information.
That's amazing.
I know. You have a scary story.
I do?
Yes.
Oh, yes. The 5-year-old.
The nightmare of every
Sorry.
parent.
This really is. I can't. And they always start it like this too, which I'm like, this doesn't make me feel any better as a parent. A series of admitted mistakes from Granite School District officials. Yeah, that's nice. Because anytime this is going to involve my 5-year-old, and then I get the series of admitted mistakes, I don't care if you're admitting them to me. My child is still. Well, basically what happened, a kindergartner from Roosevelt Elementary had been taken to a bus stop and was discovered by a stranger.
Oh, God.
I picture Zoe right now, and I'm just my daughter. And the substitute bus driver who transported the student was simply following the route and the stop associated with the address that the district had on file
They have
for
it.
5-year-old Vinny.
Right.
His
They
name
have
is
it. They
Vinny.
have it with them, and this is a replacement driver.
The
right?
driver took the student to their actual home address where they were supposed to be transported. The problem was that Vinny's supposed to go to his grandmother's house, which is a few miles away from his home address.
And with the regular driver, the grandma had made a verbal
hey, would you just drop him
commitment
off here? Yeah.
to drop him off here on Thursdays and whatever's.
So the information was never reported back to the district transportation office, which is what a bus driver is supposed to do. If he said, hey, if there's an alteration in route for a student, this is what you do.
This wasn't out in front of his house.
No, he just dropped him off at a bus stop by it. And so apparently a stranger found a child on the side of the road crying and trying to walk, and he wasn't sure how to get to his grandmother's house, and he didn't know what he was doing. It is a 5-year-old walking down the side of the road crying. Sorry, as a mother, it's like every one of my instincts is tingling right now in a really violent way.
As a dad, same.
This is why my kids don't ride the bus. And we're fortunate we have the luxury that they don't have to, but this scares me. Every time I hear stuff like this, it's like, he's 5 and you left him on the side of the road and anything could have happened. Anything could have happened.
That is just killing me.
So, and they said, I don't know, it's just the phrase, a series of admitted mistakes. It's like, there's still a 5-year-old by the side of the road.
All right.
Anyway, so
Information time.
Vinny is okay, but it's really scary. All right, let's go to Gephardt Daily Newsroom. Of course, our beloved Daisy is there. She is brought to you by UtahCreditApproval.com. Bad things happen to good people, but you can get your credit back on track and get a good automobile. You can call them at 801-921-9819. Also by Columbus Travel. Columbus Travel has spectacular savings on their weekly newsletter. You can sign up for it at columbusvacations.com. I've seen deals where you've got hotel and airfare. They're cheaper than you could just find airfare on the internet. And by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. We're going into the cold weather. You want to make sure that your heating system is ready for it. So it's a good time to call John. You can just go to allutahplumbing.com. Daisy, my darling, what is going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Hello, everyone. Here's what's making headlines Thursday, October 26th on GepHardtDaily.com. Officials have ruled that a police officer's fatal shooting of suspect Michael Bruce Peterson last month in Salt Lake City was justified. The officers did everything by the book, Salt Lake County District Attorney Sim Gill said at a news conference on Wednesday afternoon. Gill also showed body camera recordings related to the September 28th police suspect encounter, which ended in the shooting death of 39-year-old Peterson. The investigation included viewing of the footage and interviewing the officers and all available witnesses, Gill said. The fourth suspect in an aggravated kidnapping case in Sandy earlier this month has been taken into custody. John Ewing, 19, voluntarily met with detectives at the Sandy Police Department Tuesday evening. 4 males, 2 adults and 2 juveniles allegedly kidnapped the victim as he was leaving work at Chinese restaurant Fortune Cuisine on October 10th. A probable cause statement from the Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office said the incident was a revenge plot on the victim planned by one of the suspects who was known to the victim. And a Heber City man is in custody after pointing a shotgun at another resident, police said. Alexander Valencia was arrested for aggravated assault, obstructing justice, DUI metabolite, and other related charges. Officers responded to the area of 500 South Main Tuesday evening on a report of a man who pointed a shotgun at another person. The suspect then fled in a white van before officers arrived. And as officers were attempting to make a traffic stop on the van, they witnessed a shotgun being tossed out a window as the suspects were driving. And time now for a look at the Wasatch Front weather, brought to you today by our new sponsor at Brio Technologies, the audio-visual experts. Temperatures today and the rest of the week will be in the mid to low 60s with absolutely no chance of rain. The beginning of next week also stays in the low 60s, and Halloween is looking like it's going to be about 60 degrees. That's all for now. For more local headlines 24/7, go to GebhardtDaily.com.
At All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air, we have the best service and the best warranties. Check us out at allutahplumbing.com.
Still hurts. I took aspirin already.
Well, you didn't sleep at all. I could hear you tossing and turning all night. You poor baby. So it's no better today?
I hurt myself yesterday. I want you to think of a penalty kick in soccer, right? And the ball is sitting there, and everybody stopped. Got a goalie and a guy. And the guy runs up, and he kicks that ball really hard, and it goes in the net. Okay, so replace the guy with me, and then replace the ball with a coffee table. And I ran.
So what part of your foot did you hurt?
My little toe. And I'm wearing slippers. I
guess my no shoes in the house rule is going to come up as the fault here, right? Yeah, I thought so.
You're right.
So your suffering is in vain.
So I clipped the thing with my toe, and I'm sitting there, and you know how it feels. You're just like, oh my God, like
There's
this.
way too many nerve endings in toes.
And Zoe says, she goes, "What'd you do?" And I said, "I stubbed my toe." And she just went like this. "Why'd you do that?" And I'm holding back swearing at this point. I'm like, "You're killing me." So I'm wearing slippers. Then I'm going to wear steel-toe boots in the house for life.
Or maybe you could just watch where you're walking and not run into the coffee table. It's just a thought. Well-lit room, coffee table.
Why don't you tell me something good before something happens?
That's probably for the best. Okay, this doctor is like the James Bond of preemie doctors. I mean, he's so cool. Dr. Scott Witt. He was at home one night and he got a phone call, 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
And they said, there's fire encroaching on the hospital. We're going to have to evacuate.
Where is this?
California during the wildfires.
Oh, okay.
So this is a doctor. You know, you're thinking, oh, well, there's orderlies and people who do these things.
Yes.
And he's like, well, crap, no, because he's got all these preemies. He's neonatal.
No.
And he's got all these preemies. This is incredibly sensitive, as
Plus
you can imagine.
they're on equipment and stuff.
Yeah, so he's freaking out. His family, he says, family leave. You know, we're not safe either. You got to go.
Right.
So instead of joining their escape, he goes to help with the evacuation of the hospital.
There he is.
He goes, well, I left my truck, but I couldn't get very far because the freeway had flames going across it. So he turned back, got out of his truck, switched to his motorcycle.
What?
Started dodging down power lines, weaving in and out of the traffic jams, going in and out of the flames.
Wow.
Like a total badass.
Right.
Gets to the hospital,
Right.
starts taking care of the preemies, and then, of course, he gets all 8 of them prepped in the NICU for evacuation.
They gotta go, right?
Got him out of there. Like James Bond, man.
Show me the motorcycle riding again.
Well, no, he's diving in and out, and he's got the power lines, and he's going in and out, and then he's got like the traffic jams.
Nice.
Tell me that's not cool, though.
It's a way cool story.
Tell me something good. That was a good one. All righty, coming up next.
All right, so-
weekend stuff with Daisy.
Oh yeah, I gotta get out of here because you guys got some cool stuff going
There's
on.
some
this
amazing
weekend.
stuff this
All
weekend.
right, I'm out. She's next.
The Todd and Erin
Christopher's.
morning stream is brought to you by Utah Credit Approval. Bad things happen to good people, but repair your credit and find the car you want at Utah Credit Approval. Just call 801-404-7201. Also by Columbus Travel. Sign up for their weekly newsletter today for some screamingly good last-minute travel deals. You can do that at columbusvacations.com. And also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. This is the perfect time to check out your heating system and make sure that you're ready for the cold winter months ahead. Go to allutahplumbing.com and don't forget 24-hour service.
So Jeff, you do mortgages, right?
I do.
How do you do?
Well, you go to our website, 4minutemortgage.com, fill out the application. We'll call you within one business day. The whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
We went to the bank
They got really personal.
and went through all of our personal records and all of our finances.
And then there was that little deal about the $8,000 closing costs.
It took like 4 months.
That's funny. That's funny.
All right, we're back. Todd and Erin morning stream on getpartdaily.com. The beloved Daisy is here. Hi,
I'm
sweetie.
here. It's Thursday.
And you're wearing your cute little red jacket today.
Yeah,
so I
my
love that
Forever
one.
21 little track jacket.
Why do you always look so adorable in inexpensive clothing? And you keep it forever too. What do you do? Like massage it and then hang it up tenderly again?
Oh hell no! I just throw it in the washing machine. I'm not an ironer. I'm not no.
That's why relaxed fabrics have been our friends for so long. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Oh yeah.
Really quickly, I do have to remind you about Christopher's because I completely forgot about it. This is our big thank you for actually following us to the morning stream. Do you know we're almost up to 2 million views?
No, I can't even think about that.
So that means we have to do like some kind of epic party.
Yeah.
Something really cool.
What should we do, guys?
To say thank you. Well, apparently we're not going to Christopher's because nobody invites us.
No.
But we do get to send you and 3 of your friends. As a matter of fact, we're drawing tomorrow, so we'd love to have you enter to win. And it's an amazing night. It's all for you, and all you have to do is just go to whichever our Facebook pages that you might be likely watching. And you can do this on Get Part Daily, Get Part Approved, or on the Todd and Erin Facebook page. Just drop a note from today's show saying, "Hi, how are you? I don't like your hair." I don't care what you say. Just say something. We'll know that you entered, and then tomorrow we draw a winner. It's that simple.
Yay.
'Cause we're not-
very excited.
We're not bright enough to do a complicated contest because then it would involve steps, and I would have to remember them. And
Yeah.
that doesn't work.
No, that's not good. Just keep it simple. Right?
Are you doing any of these spooky things this weekend?
Yes. I think one of them. I think Witches' Night Out, but not the other one.
Oh, thank God, because I have a huge clown phobia, and that one doesn't look fun at all.
Oh
to
my
me.
gosh! So I have a funny story. So I picked out to talk about this weekend just one of the haunted houses, Strangling Brothers. But I was going to tell you, like when I used to work in magazine for the Salt Lake Tribune. You okay there?
I'm just trying not to dry heave, but keep going. I can
Oh,
do this.
clowns?
Don't seriously.
Oh, okay.
I have a serious thing about clowns.
Okay, I
Go-
won't.
no, go on.
I won't talk about clowns.
No, go
But
on.
this is a different story.
Oh, good. Okay.
So when I worked at In Magazine for the Trib, I had never been to a haunted house before.
You don't have those in
We
Britain?
don't have them in England, and I didn't.
out!
And I didn't really understand. What freaked me out about them was I didn't really understand what the concept was. Like,
Why are you doing
And
this?
the
Yeah.
idea that you go in and you kind of work your way through. It's kind of a maze as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, I said that it was the only story while I was at Inn that I was like, okay, I would, because you can't turn down stories when you're a writer. You can't say no.
Oh, yeah, and especially something like this, it's a cush one. I'm sure they're like, yeah, you can do it.
So they were like, we want you to go to all the haunted houses and check them out.
All of them?
All of them. And I said...
That's a lot of haunted
Well,
houses.
actually, I mean, it was like 5.
Yeah, but that's still a lot.
But I was like, you know, I've never said I won't do a story, but if there's any way that someone else can do this, like, because I'm scared, I don't understand really the concept.
Which is totally why they would want you to go.
I just don't want, and they were like, right, well, you can go to.
You were just
We're
begging.
going to send you to all of them.
I'm sorry, as your editor, I would go, you
Oh
were
my
so going, are you
God.
kidding?
And it was, I mean, they're all bad. But Strangling Brothers, I won't talk about the details, but it is a really scary one, but also conceptually very fun. I guess.
What was the most terrifying thing in it for you?
I think I blocked some of it out.
That good, huh?
Oh. Yeah. I think Strangling Brothers, I don't know if they still do this, but it's like a series of trailers. And what I didn't realize is that when you're walking between the trailers, there's scares
Things
as
can
well.
get
so
you
people
to...
coming out from under the trailers.
I hate that.
And
yeah.
Oh my. So Strangling Brothers and I think most of the other haunted houses go through Monday. They're not actually open on Halloween. But
That's very disappointing.
And it's down in American Fork now.
Oh, they moved it. It used to be in South Jordan, I thought.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it did. It used to be just near here. But so it's 632 East, 1500 South in American Fork. And I noticed that Friday and Saturday they're open through midnight. So,
of course they are.
Yeah. Yeah. So not going into specifics, but you know, that was probably my favorite haunted house if you are looking for a haunted house to go to.
My nephew Gabriel is one of the makeup artists and the actors down at Fear Factory. You know Gabies, but
yes,
but yeah,
he actually has a job.
Oh yeah,
because he's so good.
But he was telling me, and it's a big industry because you know how much money they make because they all do. They just make insane bank. But he was talking about the fact that he'd gone to some national conventions and how much people respected Utah. They're like, you have the sickest, most unnatural, unhealthy haunted houses ever. And he's like, thank you.
He's so flattered.
Isn't he? I know. He was so proud.
And Fear Factory, I won't because it is actually haunted.
I know. So that just seems like that's almost asking for too much. Yeah. Good luck there, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then the other one when I first moved here that I couldn't believe was the one, I think down in Provo, that was an actual mental hospital.
Yes.
And they had the patients like doing scares.
I think that's more fun for them, actually, to be honest.
It's like, that's a sound idea.
You're viewing the potential for disaster.
What could possibly go wrong?
It'll be fine.
Oh my God, you guys are crazy over here.
Really quickly, I forgot about this. FearCon actually starts today, and it runs through Saturday. So I'm really excited about this. If you've never been, basically it's celebrating everything that is like horrifying, which is totally up my alley, except for the clown part.
Yes.
So yeah, it's amazing activities. All the vendors are all dressed up. Everyone sort of cosplays into the most gruesome possible things they can. Great interactive exhibitions. They would love to have you dress up. They think it's a lot of fun. So you can still get tickets at the door. A very easy, Salt Palace Convention Center, and like I said,
kind of like Comic-Con,
but creepier.
Okay.
It's like all the really dark elements of Comic-Con instead of the happy ones. Mm-hmm. It's the dark, bloody ones.
Well, that's kind of fun.
I know, I like that. We follow each other on Instagram, FearCon and I they always like my really gross stuff, and I'm like, I appreciate you. We relate.
And I think it's Fear Factory that puts that on, isn't it? I'm not totally sure, but I think it's one of the haunted houses.
They might be part of it, but but FearCon, it's a broader scale, but it's good. So, all right, now tell me the other thing because it's fun.
Witches Night Out.
Now that we're both like creeped out.
Witches Night Out. I am.
Gardner Village.
Yeah, and my family does. Jay's. Well, my cousins now too, but Jay's cousins, they dress up very seriously. I think I might have told this story before, but it was so funny last year because I had never been to Garden Village and I did not understand the sheer scope of Witches Night Out, right?
It is gigantic. It's freaking enormous.
Yeah. So they tell me they're going and I'm like, oh great, I'll meet you there. Like, you'll be wearing witch outfits, so I'll totally be able to find you. And I go, and I'm like, oh, there's 3,000 witches here. Like, there's so many witches. There's
you just got a sea of pointed hats.
And there's like slutty witches and, wholesome witches. And
were there any zombie witches? I think there should be a zombie witch.
That would be amazing.
Don't you think?
Not that I remember.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, that would be super cool.
Once for one of the
wouldn't it?
zombie walks, Todd and I dressed up. You know that iconic photo of the serviceman and he's kissing his girl before they leave?
Yeah.
We did that, so we'd stop every now and then and pose and
Oh my
do the
God.
sloppy mouth kiss, and part of my face would peel off because Gaby did my makeup.
That is amazing.
That was fun. It's a hard concept to keep going while you're staggering, but it was fun.
That's so cool.
Did you ever find your personal witches in the gigantic sea of witches?
And I felt so lame because I wasn't dressed up. But it's a serious.
Yeah, explain for people who haven't been, because it's fun.
So Gardner Village is like a super cute kind of little shopping village with sweet little shops and things like picturesque. And when you go to Witches Night Out, there's a parade, and then there's like a dance party at like 10 o'clock at night, and everyone's just it's slammed. And so you're dressed as a witch. You kind of walk around.
Looking witchy.
I'm vaguely flummoxed about a lot of Halloween stuff. I'm just like, wow, this is so like serious. And
I have to admit,
intense.
this is the one thing we totally have over Great Britain, because you guys have Guy Fawkes days. Like, ooh, I'm going to burn something.
That's amazing, though. We should do a special show for Bonfire Night. I'll try
Really?
and find some toffee
You don't-
apples. They're so good.
Well, toffee apples are always welcome under any circumstances. But it doesn't really seem to have the pageantry and the flair of Halloween.
No, not quite. Although it is fun.
Is it?
It is really fun.
So
yeah.
explain it briefly. Because this is basically England's Halloween. What do you guys do?
yes. So there's a few kind of slightly abstract concepts, like people used to make Guy Fawkes's and put them in little trolleys and then ask people to give them money. But
That was an actual person, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, who tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament.
Okay, that's right.
And then the thing I loved about Bonfire Night is like, so I lived in a small village growing up, and basically like at the end of our garden there used to be like a big community fire where it's slightly macabre because they build like a Guy Fawkes out of like cloth and stuff, and then they make a huge fire and then they like throw him on.
Look, kids, we're going to burn the person alive now.
A little dark, but the fun part is that you I remember having like baked potatoes and then toffee apples, so you eat the whole time, and there's fireworks. It's atmospheric because it's just starting to get cold at that time, so you have the fire, but it's autumn, and so you're all dressed up.
Okay, that's pretty cool, I have to admit.
Now you want to go, don't
Well, I'm
you?
also a pyro, so I'm like, bonfires? That's great. I didn't know about that part.
Good big firework displays. So
That is so fun.
So that's November 5th. So maybe, I'll try and find toffee apples and bring them in.
We'll have to do
for that
something.
show.
Exactly. Just on principle.
But yeah, Witches Night Out. So it went last weekend, and then it's going to be Friday and Saturday from 6 to 10.
And it's free, right?
And
the admission is free.
It is free. Because it's so slammed, they are saying that that I think it's mostly valet parking now.
The parking's the only tricky part, yeah.
Yeah, because last year I parked in some sort of little, grassy knoll like 2 miles from Gardner Village.
You probably actually do want to have valet parking, because it's a lot of walking otherwise.
Yeah.
Like you found out as you fell into a ditch trying to actually get to it.
Yeah. So if you haven't been, Witches Night Out is ever so fun, and it is free. So I would say just allow time if you want to buy food or anything like that. There's quite long lines and stuff. So,
but it's all right because you're dressed like a witch. So what do you care?
Yeah.
It's perfect. All right, new movies out this weekend. There's a couple of interesting ones. Okay, I don't know why the Saw movies have to come back, because there were so many questions left unanswered from Saw Part 397.
I thought they were done. Is this another Saw movie?
This is Jigsaw, as you recall, who is the pivotal character of all of the Saw movies, who created all the gruesome scenarios that tortured people horribly into death and screaming and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he's back.
Oh God.
Now the game's simple. Best ones are. You want mercy? Play by the rules.
And there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that little kind of thing where, they couldn't find Jigsaw anymore, and then they kind of wondered what happened. Then there's body parts, and everything goes horribly wrong again.
I feel like I'm kind of over this right now.
You know, I was over the first one. The first one was a genius twist, and then it just got worse. And okay, we can stop now. We can stop. We can stop. Seriously, we can stop.
It's just kind of dumb, though. You look at me, don't look at them.
It goes back to that whole element of torture porn that I had a hard time with. Like, that's back when they did the Hostel movies. Remember all of those things?
Hostel, that was so scary.
Yeah, but it's that whole element of the torture and degradation of a human being and people enjoy it so much under the guise of horror, but you're like, no, people really do this kind of stuff to each other, and you're just making it a Hollywood version.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
So you're probably sensing I don't have a ringing endorsement for Jigsaw, but unfortunately it's one of the major releases this
and
weekend.
lots of people will go see it.
Yes, they will. That's why this one I'm really excited about, Suburbicon, and we should actually do this.
Yeah.
Joel and Ethan Coen, these are the writers, and George Clooney is actually directing this. It's got Matt Damon in it, Julianne Moore, and it's really squirrely. I mean, it goes back to your regular suburban neighborhood, and then things get weird.
Welcome to Suburbicon, a town of great wonder and excitement.
Hey there.
Built with the promise of prosperity for all.
Nikki, you need to get up. There are men in the house.
Yeah. So, like I said, it gets weird. It's really interesting. Joel and Ethan Coen, who are the writers, they actually said they had designed it specifically. So you go through these neighborhoods. They made all the houses with very small paranoid windows. And if you look at it, there's none of the big picture windows of, look how happy this is. Everybody inside is very paranoid with their anxious, tiny windows, and nobody can really look out or in. So it's like this terrifying sort of like closed off little thing. And it's a very small thing, but it gets really atmospheric after a while.
And I love the Coen brothers.
I know.
They're so, they're so like offbeat and strange and just...
One of them got dropped on their head as a baby, you can tell, because it's like different.
If not both. You know what I saw last week that was really good too? I think I mentioned it, but then I went to see it.
Oh, you did see it?
Only the Brave.
Now, what did you think about it? It was firefighters.
Yeah, really good.
Really?
Really good, yeah. Firefighters... amazing acting. So it has Josh Brolin, Jeff Bridges. It's like an acting masterclass. Jeff Bridges, Jennifer Connelly, Andy McDowell.
Oh, wow.
Really good.
That's
really
amazing.
good. Yeah, I loved it. It's long.
Now, what story is this based on? Where were they at?
So they're called the Granite Mountain Hotshots, and it's a true story about a team in Arizona and about a particular fire that they fought that doesn't go so well for them. But really, I love. We said last week, I love firefighting movies. But yeah, I really liked it. So if you don't want to do like the horror thing, maybe
something inspiring. Yeah, there's that too.
It's sad, but it's really good. And the acting's amazing.
That's so cool. See, I'm glad I'm not an actress because I don't think I could ever go to a movie without like analyzing everything and going, could I have done that part better? I bet I could. I could have done that. Do you do that? Do you analyze everybody's work when you're...
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to relax and just enjoy the show.
Yeah. I mean, I do. I definitely look at performances, but, I think film actors are kind of so out of the league that I would be in, that it's like...
Whatever. It's true. Alrighty, so anyway, that's some of the stuff happening this weekend. There's also a list of all of the haunted houses, haunted forests, haunted corn stalks. There's some of those apparently.
So many haunted.
And then also lots of corn mazes. And we've got the complete list if you want to go to Gebhardt Daily. You'll see that on the Todd and Erin page. And I literally typed my fingers to bloody stumps doing that one.
I thought you said porn mazes. I was like...
Oh, that's a whole other holiday.
That sounds very nice.
Very uncomfortable.
Don't take your kids to that one.
Yeah, don't do that one. So in any case, it's going to be an epic weekend one way or another. Thank you, my darling. Now you have to stay. We have a little something to show you after the break.
I'll stay.
It's worth staying for. The Todd and Erin morning stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Did you know that you can qualify for a mortgage with a credit score as low as 600? Just go to fink-mcgregor.com for more information. It's mortgages made simple. Also by the Vein Clinic. There's several excellent varicose vein removal procedures, but you need to find the right one for you. You can do that by scheduling an appointment at theveinclinic.com. And also by Black Diamond Heating, Electric, Plumbing, and Air. Black Diamond Experts. They also have a brand new office open in Ogden. You'll be glad you called an expert. BlackDiamondExpert.com.
Fly today
and drive away.
Oh, Scott and Amy's think that you're onto something, Daisy, with the
Poor
porn
mazes. Yeah.
Like,
She said corn maze, and I thought she said poor maze, and I was like, huh.
Chicka wow wow.
That's a whole nother thing.
Okay.
Todd and Erin's porn maze.
Well,
Oh, don't put us with that.
let's not do that.
I say the reason you're here, Daisy, is because you're a wonderful person.
Yes.
Well, you are.
There is something, and I've never heard of this before. First of all, London's air quality is horrible. I did not know
is.
that.
Yeah, it's bad.
I thought it was foggy, but it's not. It's smoggy.
Yeah, smoggy and foggy.
9,400 premature deaths in a capital year.
That's a lot.
Seriously?
Kids are now being born with asthma or generating really fast in their life.
Wow.
Well, if you look at China, it's even worse. They have
Yeah.
people who direct traffic there have a life expectancy of 48 years.
Yeah, that's really making you really want to apply for that gig, isn't it?
And they don't have insurance. So anyway, here's the deal. They charge you to drive into London.
Sure, tolls.
$28. And that's because, and they charge that to the cars and the diesel trucks.
That's 28 pounds, isn't it?
Well, no, that's dollars. And they're charging the cars that have the worst pollution. Now, that's on top of another charge of $13 for congestion.
The congestion charge.
Your mom's still there, right?
dad.
Who's that? Your dad's still there. Does he have a car?
Well, my stepmom has a car, but here's the thing. I mean, basically, what the charges like this are doing,
Right.
They just don't want anyone to drive in central London, and the thing is that there's no reason to drive in central London
Because
the public transport is so good. My stepmom has a car, and the only time I was saying to you, the only time she uses it is that her mom was in a facility just kind of on the suburbs of London.
Care facility,
and then she passed away, and my stepmom still goes there to knit with the old ladies.
Oh, that's
Isn't that so sweet?
Oh my gosh, right?
But she uses her car then to drive out of London.
Right.
But if you're going into London, you either get a cab or you get a tube. Like, there's no reason. The only cars really that should be in the center of London are taxis, I think.
And Uber's trying to figure out a way around it too, because they're going to have to pay the $13.
Well, that ends up being $41. I mean, just to go into London. But I can see your point now. If you're saying, well, why do you have to?
Right.
Because the tube system there is very good, isn't it? It's not like some of our cities where it's like it might work.
It's
it might not.
incredible.
Yeah, and if you go out at night, tubes run till 1 or 2 in the morning, so there's really no reason. And when you go to London, I mean, the streets are so congested, you know, because you've got buses, you've got taxis, and then private cars. It's like, I mean, I think they're just slapping these big, you know, fees on people to just be like, well, just don't drive in the middle of London.
Let's make this easier for you. We're just going to bankrupt you first.
It's like the national parks.
Interesting.
The national parks.
It kind of is.
Just during peak season, they want to charge $70. First of all, infrastructure is they're billions of dollars behind in rebuilding and keeping things up and keeping it fresh. And people are loving them to death. 3 parks right here in Utah. And so they think that maybe that'll force people to other parks. And maybe it will kind of spread them out early season, late season. But it's
so then I guess it's just like, if you really want to go into central London, yes, you can pay, but
it's just
interesting. So that doesn't surprise you at all, the new increase?
No, not at all. The thing that's really interesting that my stepmom did get hit with is that they introduced a charge maybe a couple of years ago, maybe more, that there was a toll if you went into central London, that you had to pay a certain amount.
Right.
But it's so sneaky because it's not like perfectly clear when you go in that it's not like it's a toll bridge. You have to pay it afterwards. But
that's perplexing.
It's perplexing. But then if you forget, it's something weird, like it's £10, But then if you don't pay for 24 hours, it goes up to like 100.
Right,
and then
right.
if you don't pay for 48,
Wow.
it goes up to like 1,000 or something
And then
really.
we're going to take your house and your child.
Yeah, something weird like that.
So they track you down.
So you have to be on those charges.
But you pay afterwards. It's
you
like
pay afterwards.
They boot.
Yeah.
Eventually, they boot you.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they would.
Yeah, Scott and Amy said our friends just came back from visiting London. This is on Facebook. Good morning, everybody. Said they had a rental car for less than a day because the traffic was so scary. They're like, I can't do this.
Oh, I drove in London once, and I was like, okay, done. Never gonna drive there again.
I went to live. Yeah, so we're not driving there.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so there you go. There's a reason for it.
Well, first of all, on our Facebook too, thanks for all the entertainment stuff that is going to go on this weekend. They really like that. So
yeah.
well
No,
done.
they just like Daisy. Daisy's the favorite.
That's
No,
true.
I'm
And
so
I already
not.
know. Oh, you so have a fan club. Don't even lie. Everyone goes, good morning, Daisy. Good morning, Daisy. Hi, Daisy.
As a
And I'm
matter
like,
of-
I'm here too. So's Todd. It's like, no. good
Daisy,
morning,
it's time to do your
Daisy.
thing. So yeah.
Oh, I have to get my golf cart.
Race! Get your golf cart and go quickly to the other 2 feet. Sorry, we were laughing because Brandon was saying today, "Hey Daisy, now you're just gonna have to race to get back to your,
like
your set
15 feet.
to make sure you're there for news."
Yeah, we
And
hear
there-
you.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it was
we hear
really,
you.
It's like 3 steps.
All right.
So we're gonna get Daisy a golf cart
Brought
next
to you
time.
by.
Or maybe with those cool little stand-up segways.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Put Daisy in a Segway,
That would take like 4 seconds.
right? You mean as opposed to the 3 that it takes her now just to take
Right.
off? Yeah. All right,
Oh,
let's go to Daisy.
before we do that, let's talk really quick. I'll go ahead and do it. Go ahead.
Let's go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Mortgage is made simple. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, they have like a 4-minute quiz that you can take, and then it spits out all of these options for mortgages, and someone will call you back from Fink and McGregor within the next business day. Also by the Vein Clinic at theveinclinic.com. That's where you want to go to get some ideas about all the amazing things that they can do for your legs. I'm going in for a consultation this morning, and I'm so excited. It has changed. It can be painless. Just go to theveinclinic.com. Also by Black Diamond Experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. And now they also have a new store up in Ogden. It's blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, my darling, what is going on today?
Good morning, Todd and Erin. I rushed back to my seat with the help of a golf cart. Hello again, everyone. Here's a look at national and world news for Thursday, October 26th on GephartDaily.com. A record high number of adults in the United States, 64%, say they support legalizing marijuana, according to new research. According to a Gallup survey, Americans' support for legalizing pot has grown since the poll first asked the question in 1969, when just 12% supported the proposal. By the end of the 1970s, the figure had more than doubled. It changed little throughout the 80s and 90s, and then in 2001 grew to 34%. And since 2013, a majority of Americans have backed the idea. In last year's poll, support hit 60% for the first time. Former President George H.W. Bush responded Wednesday after actress Heather Lynn said he sexually assaulted her during a photo op 4 years ago. Lynn said Bush touched her from behind twice when he was sitting in his wheelchair and told her an inappropriate joke while they posed for a photo to promote a television show she had worked on. Bush's spokesman, Jim McGrath, issued a response about the allegation on Wednesday. President Bush would never, under any circumstance, intentionally cause anyone distress, and he most sincerely apologizes if his attempt at humor offended Ms. Lind, he said. And a group of men photographed swimming inside a baited crocodile trap have been branded the idiots of the century by local officials in Australia. A series of photos posted to Facebook show a quartet of grinning men swimming inside a crocodile trap at the Port Douglas Marina in Queensland. Local officials said the traps were set after a massive crocodile was blamed for a fatal attack in the area. That's it for now. For more headlines from across the country and around the world, go to GephartDaily.com. And for now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
I like Black Diamond Experts for, well, a lot of reasons, but there's always that one list you keep somewhere in your kitchen that's sort of tattered, and you write down names and phone numbers of like people you like and trust. Like you try to find somebody at a garage that you like, or maybe there's like a babysitter, whoever it is. You start writing that list, and those are your people. Well, Black Diamond Expert goes up on a lot of those lists for some really good reasons. Number one, the guys are licensed and bonded and insured, so when they come to your door, you know who you're getting. They know what they're doing. They do a great job. And if they give you a bid on something that you need fixed or altered or repaired or changed or whatever, you will end up paying exactly what the bid was. You will not pay extra. There'll not be mysterious fees. It will be just what they said, because they really do like to be everything they say they are. They like to stand by their words. So they also have a brand new place open in Ogden now, so it's even easier to get a hold of them. So if you want to try this for yourself, you maybe get your furnace serviced for winter or get something checked out. These are your guys. Just go to blackdiamondexpert.com.
All right, so this is a disturbing story.
Well, it's a heartbreaking story to me. Gary Ott.
No surprise.
No, it's not. But Gary Ott, the county recorder, and there's been so much controversy this year because everyone had felt this elected official had been, that he was going into dementia. It was severely affecting his office.
Right.
There were a lot of concerns.
No one would admit it, the people around him.
A lot of the co-workers were concerned, and he had a mysterious girlfriend who worked for him who seemed to be controlling things, and not well. And then, of course, it ended up going to court, and his family against the girlfriend, trying to say, we have to take care of him. Now, the poor gentleman passed away.
Right, after all that crap.
But it really brought a lot of attention to the forefront, and people were talking to Utah Adult Protective Services. And the head of that, of course, is Nan Mendenhall. She said over the last 5 years that they have seen an explosion of cases of elder abuse. And to me, this is like the lowest of the low, because these are the people who fought wars, and they engaged their community, and they raised families, and you would think at the end, even challenged by failing health and cognitive issues, this is the time that they should be celebrated and treated well and
protected.
Worshipped.
Right.
Well, one of the problems they have is that they don't report them. In 2012, there were 2,800 investigations.
In Utah.
In 2016, 7,200.
Whoa.
And this is how fast it's going. And one of their biggest problems is the victims won't cooperate, because a lot of times it's family members, which makes it even worse to me. The most prevalent abuse is financial exploitation. Reports put the losses just in 1 year to seniors and banks at $52 million in Utah.
There's a guy did that to my mom, my sister's ex-husband. All of a sudden they found out that he was going and visiting her. And then it was a matter of, how about a check?
You never told me this.
Yeah.
You never told me that.
Yeah, no, everybody had to put the kibosh on that. But yeah, and he pretended to be friends, and maybe he was, I don't know. But next thing you know, there was a checkbook involved, and
you're not friends anymore once there's a checkbook involved.
And the other hard thing is that your family's your advocate, and if something's going on at the care facility, you have to keep an eye open for it.
Mom, why is your stuff missing? Or where did you get that bruise? Or it's so scary. It's heartbreaking.
My mom, when she went in for care, they took her rings off, because you don't wear jewelry into a home because it might get stolen. I mean, that was a nice place, So
that's heartbreaking, because you think about this arthritic little hand and the diamond that you've had on your hand for your whole life that you would never take off. It's your ring.
Right. And so, not the scariest part of this, but obviously everybody knows the heartbreaking part. But the scariest part is the baby boomers are aging now to the point where they're all about to go in. There's a huge amount of increase.
It's going to be a landslide.
The businesses that are going. I mean, if you're in urology, oh, that's a bad example. If you're in urology or caring for the elderly and stuff, this is a huge amount of the population is going to be doing this.
Yeah, elder care services are booming. Yeah, but but the fact that they've had that kind of explosion of cases is just heartbreaking to me. And so they talked about a few different things. They said that really try to encourage your parents to. It's the same way you do with your kids, that you still have that open line of communication, and that we don't have secrets between us. And it's one of the things that we talk to our kids and all the time is there's no secrets in our household. You don't get to anyone tells you to keep a secret, you come and tell us.
Right.
And for a lot of these elderly folk, especially if they might have a more childlike personality now, they'll go back into those same patterns, and it's heartbreaking. So Yeah, it is our responsibility to watch it, but the fact that so many of the cases go unreported or unsubstantiated because they can't prove them
and how do you
is
find
because there's family members
and
involved.
how do you find the right facility? I think more and more they're going to be like Angie's List. There are lists where they're rated and there are reviews on them and stuff like that. So, all right.
That is heartbreaking. Anyway, so it's the only reason it's good is at least once it's back to our attention, at least we pay attention to it again. We think about it, we worry about it, and maybe you have neighbors you want to keep a closer eye on. But that's like it's like the lowest of the low to me. I can't imagine that you could be any lower.
Right.
But in any case, okay, moving on. Things get better.
Halloween. No, they don't. No, they don't get better. You want to buy human head? It can happen.
It's on the internet.
And it's next.
Go to fink-mcgregor.com for mortgages made simple. Because they're a broker, they have a number of different options they can offer you. Just go through a 4-minute questionnaire and someone will call you back by the next business day and get you on your way. It's fink-mcgregor.com. Also by Utah Credit Approval. Utah Credit Approval knows that there's sometimes the bad things happen to good people and that credit may be hard to repair. But you can apply today and drive away today with Utah Credit Approval. Just call 801-404-7201. And also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Go to allutahplumbing.com to schedule a check to make sure that you're ready for winter. And don't forget they have 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com.
Morning, back to the Todd and Erin morning stream. Gephardt Daily, Reuters. They did
a news service.
They did a news report on something called body brokers.
That sounds ominous.
So what they did is they went online and they found out that there were 34 active body brokers in the U.S. That's what they found. 34.
MJ on Facebook says, I'd like a pair of knees, please, if you're getting some of those. Or some cartilage.
Cartilage would be good. So
34 active body brokers?
So basically what they did is they went through the process, right? And first they started learning. The most disturbing word in the next sentence, you tell me what it is. Most of the parts are being used for research. What's the word? Most. All right, so here's...
What are the other parts being used for?
I don't want to know. So anyway, they decided to go through the different universities' cadavers are being used.
My brother donated his body to science because my brother was brilliant. He taught himself to read when he was 3. He was a professor up in Seattle, and he ended up with 2 different kinds of brain cancer.
Right.
So when we lost him, he was quite specific that he wanted his body to go to science because he wanted them to be able to utilize his brain and do research.
Well, a lot of times they're used because they want to learn how to do an operation, and watching videos is not the same as doing it, and doing it on a cadaver is a very hands-on way to know the tissues you're dealing with.
Yeah, so this is, that is a long-held, forever, long-term solution that many people have chosen to do, and I find it rather noble because you're saying, take my flesh.
And they treat, the intent is at the universities, Westminster.
Great dignity. Our friend is a professor there.
And likes to watch the students pass out during her classes. They figured that there was 182,000 packages delivered in the United States. 50,000 bodies.
Is this in the last year?
Yeah. So they decided to make. How do they get them?
Okay, when you say
some people donate
packages with body parts, it's
I'm going to save that for the last part.
It's like Amazon.com, like.
It is.
Okay, go on. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with this. I might have to breathe, but keep
going.
Can
you imagine that one of those the package thieves follows the UPS truck, and then the truck drives up, and that person runs up and steals the box off the porch?
But it's a TV. Okay.
That's awesome. So anyway, a family, let's say a family, they want to donate their body or whatever, and they don't have money for cremation. They don't have for burial, which is really expensive.
Well,
and so the
average burial now is between $2,500 to $25,000.
Right, and so
it's an extraordinary amount of money.
So the family doesn't have that, and the broker will come in and very gently suggest that the body could be used for other purposes. And usually it's like $300 to $2,500 is paid to the family. And for a lot of people, it's the only option they have. Because you can turn the body over to the state, but the
body
state
can be used for other purposes.
Well, medical. We're going to go with that.
Sure.
So, but basically, what they did is they made a request of what they wanted. They wanted 2 heads and a spine.
And this is Reuters.
Yeah.
The news investigation. Okay.
And then one day, on the door, here's a guy with 3 boxes, 2 heads and a spine. How much? And these aren't skulls. How much do you think to
Not just the skull. This is like
the whole head?
the whole,
Yeah.
all the bits inside are in there.
Yeah, everything. How much do you think 2 heads and a spine would cost you?
I'm hoping an extraordinary amount of money.
Do you have $300?
You can buy a head for $300? Like, should I buy a human head or make my car payment? Human head. Really?
Yeah.
God, I hope our nephew Gabriel doesn't see this report.
Oh, he's a horror freak. Well, we saw that story you did earlier this week about the lady who had cancer in her foot, and so they had to amputate it. She took the foot, she had it processed so it looked like a skeleton in her science class, and she took it around the world traveling.
Yeah, but it's her foot. It's not like it's a random guy's foot that got mailed to her. That is like...
Oh, you can request male or female, by the way. Tall or short, heavy, whatever.
Don't they want to know what you're going to do with it?
Yeah, a lot of people get stuck in that situation. And, if you think of it as which
and the fact
I'm
they
sure all
selected
of it
a
is.
spine, it's just that...
Well, because maybe someone's working on that. These are the parts that are out there. It's interesting.
I'm not sure that's the word I would
Creepy
be...
as hell.
Yeah, I was thinking phrasing that probably wouldn't be the one I'd go with, but okay.
Right? Oh my God.
All right, let's move on because I'm going to need a moment here. What was the story about the lottery that was so awesome and random, but it still worked really well?
Well, it's Canadian, so he's working on metric system anyway.
That's what it was. It was the metrics.
Crazy. So anyway, this guy picked the right 4 numbers for his ticket, and the statistician said that's 1 in a 10,000 chance. Is that really? It seems like it would be bigger.
It's much, much bigger than that. Maybe they meant 10 million or something.
No, there. And so that he picked the numbers. The problem is he did it on a $2 ticket. This is like when you're playing slots and you're only going a quarter and you really should bet 3 at a time because if you hit, you really win a lot. And so you'd think, oh my gosh, you must feel awful because you only did it on a $2 ticket.
Why? What did he win?
$400,000. You know why?
That's pretty good.
Because he used that number and he bought $42 tickets.
But they said that it was just this random sequencing that should not have worked.
Well, it's just an odd thing that you would pick the same number for 40 tickets.
Like 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4.
It doesn't matter what it was. And so he won $400,000.
Nice.
Imagine that. He goes, oh my gosh, I got it. Oh my gosh, I got it. Oh my gosh, I got it. I get tired. Oh my gosh, I got it. And then walking into the 7-Eleven.
That is so weird.
It's way cool.
Good for him.
I think you drive down. How do you do that? You go back and you show it to him, and then you make sure you sign it, and then you run like hell home so no one mugs you for it, and then, or do you get to just drive? I just drive to the office. Drive to the lottery place.
I think if it's anything over like 1,000 or something, I think you have to.
That'd be a nice drive. Mm-hmm. I'd go in a limo.
I'm going for $400,000.
Right?
Yeah, that'd be a good drive.
Stop at McDonald's on the way.
Good drive.
Nice drive.
Okay, now this next one, this to me is like the classic example of government bidding gone horribly, horribly wrong.
You know what?
And we have a friend who had a transportation business, and he was a government. He was one of the government contractors, so he had told us all the weirdness about what happens. But this
these people are heroes. They're heroes, I'm telling you.
Oh, really?
Because we all know that there's a problem. There's a problem in Puerto Rico. 85% of the power grid is down. Oh, what do you need? Refrigeration? What a bunch of whiners.
Or generators that would keep like
hospitals
going, things like that. Yeah.
So evidently, there is an American, a USA company, American in Montana, and they got awarded the $300 million contract to get over there and rebuild their infrastructure and their power grid.
$300 million
from the United States, and I know that's the United States too, but it's just like in-house. It's ours. We're gonna get it. So both
we're gonna spread across
it's gonna be great.
Puerto Rico, and we're just gonna.
Both the employees are really stoked about this.
Wait.
Stoked.
They gave a $300 million contract to a company with 2 people.
Yeah, but they're going to work extra hours. You know that. They're going to really work hard
They
on it.
awarded a contract to a company with 2 people that are supposed to restore the entire island's power grid.
Yeah, and then the company's only 2 years old. So it's 2 and 2. 2 employees, 2 years old. There is one more
interesting thing.
One more issue, is that the Trump's interior chief.
Mm-hmm. The one who oversees these bids. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's in his hometown.
In Montana. Wow, who saw the coincidence coming there?
2 people.
Wouldn't that be part of the
2
bid
years.
process to know
that is
how many people, what kind of workforce you would have out on the...
Puerto Rico is actually standing up and saying, "Oh no, we don't want that.
You're going to have to avoid this.
You're going to have to go through the bidding process and be transparent and stuff like that. So you're not giving the $300 million to a 2-person company that has only been in business for 2 years and also works for the White House.
2 people. They want to restore an entire island's power grid.
It's going to take at least 8. Everyone knows that. This is the whole thing. This is building the infrastructure, power.
Wow, that's a nice bid process.
That is just...
They just go out and have a beer, and he said, "Hey, I got a couple guys over there that could take care of it for you." What?
I want everyone to hang on. We have 2 scary things that are coming up.
By the way, they're brought to you by Brio Technologies, and who better, because they are scary good at sound and lighting, and they can not only install it, put it all together for you, you can rent it, they can put everything all pretty at brioaudiovisual.com. Now that we know who it's brought to you by.
I think one of these is going to tantalize the spooky part of your brain, and the other one's just going to creep you out and make you pee your pants.
That sounds inspiring.
Yeah.
All right, the first is actually in our series of spooky spots along the Wasatch Front. They're places that a lot of people don't know about. We are like an uber creepy state, and they even say that with a lot of ghost hunting and paranormal circles. They go, "Oh, Utah's full of it. It's a hotbed." And we're
I don't think we're full of it.
We know we're creepy. It's okay. But this one especially is one of my favorites because this is a visit to Emo's grave.
Now, a lot of people have heard about this, right?
If you are around the old Salt Lake City Cemetery, you may have heard of Emo. You might have even been running around him, and we'll explain why. But it's a gigantic crypt with a heavily plated steel door that is
you show it. You show it.
Welded, hammered. Anyway, run the video.
Yeah.
You can see.
Okay, welcome to our series of the spookiest spots along the Wasatch Front. And any decent spooky spot hunter would be remiss if they did not include Emo's grave. Now, their legend has it, of course, is if you go around Emo's grave 3 times saying, "Come out, Emo. Come out, Emo." And no, kids, this isn't Nemo, it's Emo. Come out, Emo. I don't know why I'm saying it in that tone. It's not like it would help or anything, but come out, Emo. Now, you may have noticed that I didn't actually go around 3 times because my personal feeling is, why push your luck? The one interesting thing about this particular crypt is the door has been found open many, many times without any explanation, to the point where you can see they have taken off every possible way to get in. But even when they do, the bolts still pop out of the steel plating. Huh? Yeah, spooky.
Oh, that's...
the rivets and the screws keep popping out all the time. They have a really hard time. They've tried welding that door shut, and the big rusted thing in the center, that used to be a little alcove where they had
a window
Emo's urn
with bars,
and then it had bars on it. And as you've seen there, they just welded another plate over it. But all the screws keep popping out.
In New England, they pre-dig areas depending
Because it gets
on
so cold.
And back in the 1800s or whatever, even 1700s, they would go to the doctor in the town and say, "How many do you think this winter?" And
Because that's not macabre at all.
he was like, well, Mr. Johnson's not looking good, and let's figure on one ice fishing accident, and then they go and do it. And the other places use underground storage areas and stuff when you put the bodies in there in the caskets, and you stack them up,
hardwood,
and then dig in the spring and stuff. And then others that turned into mausoleums that they had back east, and which they've been having in Europe forever. But the same kind of thing is where the whole family would get a little house together.
Get all stacked up.
Oh, we're talking a lot about creepy stuff today, but
Well, it
nothing
is almost Halloween.
Nothing is going to prepare you for what's about to happen. And I would like to warn you. See, we've already done the show, so if you haven't left by now,
this will guarantee it.
This will make you go away.
This is why we save this for last.
And this is if someone walks up to you and says, "Hey, you know what would be fun? Let's all go out to the Salt Lake Marina."
Great Salt Lake.
Because they have boats and a sunset.
And
this.
Look at all the egg
Evidently, it's spider season out at the Great Salt Lake. And they're everywhere. You guys have a
Look
good
at the
day.
egg sacks.
Where'd you go? Hey, is anybody still watching? All right, anyway. See you later. The Todd and Erin morning stream on Gephardt Daily.
Oh, jeez. You've got to be kidding me.
Is there like one person still watching? I think. Okay.